Hi everybody, this is Nikhil from Digit. Today we have with us the Oppo Find 7, which is a high-end smartphone currently priced for rupees 37,990. Now let's take a look at the performance and how the phone actually works. Now in terms of performance, the Oppo Find 7 actually stands right at the top among the other flagship smartphones in the market today. Uh, for instance, the Samsung Galaxy S5, the HTC One M8, and the Sony Xperia Z2. It does not score the highest score in benchmarks, but it does fall on in second position or third position almost consistently, which means that there is not really much to differentiate between the Oppo Find 7 and the other flagship smartphones. Now, in terms of actual use, I actually did not notice any issue. I did not have any issues with this phone. The interface is completely lag-free. As you must have noticed, although the phone runs on Android 4.3, it does not actually use the stock Android interface. It uses Oppo's own cloud interface. Thankfully, unlike a bunch of other custom UIs that we have seen in the past, the cloud interface is actually good looking. It does not create issues. It does not uh, take a performance hit, and it's actually good to look at, and it's quite convenient to use as well. It does work a lot like Android does. The stock Android interface does. If you slide from the top down, you get the notifications and the quick shortcuts. You can click on the menu button to just get a side-scrolling menu. You have the home screen in which you can either add icons of different apps. You can add widgets to the home screen as well. So it works pretty much as any Android phone works. The great part about this phone is that Oppo has designed it to be for people who actually like to change the look and feel of the phone's interface every now and then. So as a result, we have something called the online theme store. Now this is a theme store curated by Oppo from which you can download a bunch of free themes which change the icons, the looks of the icons, the wallpapers, things like that. It's pretty nice. All of these themes are free and there are a whole bunch that you can download. Uh, Moving away from the themes, another very neat feature is the different kind of lock screens that you can download for the Oppo Find 7. Now, when you go into settings, you just pop into the display part, and then once you go into the lock screen, you'll see something called lock screen types. Now, you get a whole bunch of lock screen types that you can pick from. So let's say from these, I pick the card unlock lock screen button. You apply it, and then you get a very neat lock screen that, as you can see, this is unlike anything that, at least in terms of looks, that anything we've seen on any other Android phone. So you get a whole bunch of these visual options that you can work around with to just change the look and feel of your phone every now and then. Now, in terms of call performance, the Oppo Find 7 it works well. It calls over the phone actually sounded clear. There was no static, no echoing. One slight issue that I did notice was that the loudspeaker was a little soft when it came to calls. Although when playing music, the loudspeaker is extremely loud. That's why it felt kind of strange that the voices sounded really soft during calls. When it comes to battery performance, the Oppo is not the best of the bunch, but you will be able to use the phone easily for over a day of normal use. We ran a battery test, which meant that we ran a full HD video continuously with Wi-Fi on and the screen at full brightness. The phone lasted for just about 7 hours, which translates to about easily a day of use on this phone. In terms of camera performance, the Oppo Find 7 has a 13 megapixel camera. However, it's a pretty neat camera in the sense that you can actually you can shoot 50 MP photos with this camera as well. Now, how the camera does this is that it shoots 10 photos in lower resolutions and then stitches those 10 photos together to create a larger 50 MP camera. Now, I'll just show you how you can do this. So, you tap on this button. The moment you tap on Ultra HD out here, this means that this is shooting a 50 MP camera. So let's just shoot a sample photo right now. This is shooting in Ultra HD mode. So once you shoot the photo, it just takes a little bit of time to process and stitch the images together. Then you get a 50 MP shot out here. Moving on to video recording, it's pretty neat that this camera can shoot in 4K video. As you can see, you just pop over to the options button in video mode. You choose 4K and then you can start recording in 4K. Now 4K videos are obviously very large, and if you try to play it on a less powerful machine, obviously you won't be able to see the true beauty of the videos, but we can assure you that the 4K videos actually look pretty good. When not shooting in 4K, the default mode is 1080p, so you can pick and choose. You can shoot in 720p, 1080p, or 4K. Overall, the camera of the Oppo Find 7 is very good. It gives you a lot of options. When taking still photos and shooting in 50MP mode, it's particularly suited for when you're shooting photos under low light. Overall, the 50MP mode, we didn't see too much of a difference when it came to 13MP shots versus the 50MP shots, at least when it came to photos under normal or good lighting. However, under not so great lighting, under low light, the 50MP shots let in less noise, and there were better looking colors in the photos that we shot in 50MP. Okay, now onwards to the gaming performance of the Oppo Find 7. The Oppo Find 7 is obviously powered by a pretty powerful 2.5 gig Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor, which means that it is quite suited for gaming. We played a couple of games on it, a couple of graphics intensive games, for example, Dead Trigger 2 and Shadowgun Dead Zone. All of it were, both games worked really well without any lagging issues. The phone does tend to heat up a little bit, but it's not really a lingering issue. Uh, in terms of games that rely a lot on touch accuracy, we played Temple Run 2 and Angry Birds, and both games also performed really well. Overall, the Oppo Find 7 is definitely a good phone when it comes to gaming. Now that we are done with gaming, let's move on to the display of the Oppo Find 7. Now, the 5.5-inch display is one of the big features of the Oppo Find 7. It has a Quad HD resolution, a high pixel density of 534 ppi, which means that it is a very, very sharp display. In fact, it might just be one of the sharpest displays that we've seen. And it has great viewing angles as well. Unfortunately, the display is quite inconsistent when it comes to other factors. For example, when we look at color accuracy, if you open a completely white image on this display, you will see that there is a bluish or a purple tint on the screen. Also, there are some contrast issues. The whites don't seem completely white, and the darker portions in photos don't seem completely dark. The screen is also quite dim, which is quite surprising. It has because of that, when you go outdoors and it's a sunny day, you will have difficulty actually making out what's on the screen. That's why the Oppo Find 7 screen has a lot of potential because it is a very sharp screen, as I mentioned earlier, but it does fall short and spectacularly short in a lot of aspects as well. So overall, the Oppo Find 7 is a very good performer. It has all the hardware and it has very good software running in it as well. When using the phone for over 4 days during the review test process, I did not notice any significant issues. There were no lags, there were no slowdowns. The phone did not crash even once. The only issue that I have with the phone is the inconsistent display. But other than that, in terms of performance, I would definitely rate the Oppo Find 7 as very good.